What's good? What's good? What's good? How y'all doing out there? Welcome to the My Friends Are Dope podcast. My name is Yao G's. I am your host for this thing. Do me a favor, hit the like and subscribe button so we can get this content out to more dope people like yourself. Today I have with me a very good friend of mine. I call him my young boy. Met him. I'll get into how we met in a little while, but he's a journalist. He's a podcast host. He's a writer extraordinaire. I know him as, I call him AR Writer, a.k.a. Razor Armon, a.k.a. Pen and Paddler. I'd like to welcome to the show my boy, Armon Sadler. What's up, man? How you doing, bro?
My dog, man. Happy to be here. Always good to connect with you.
Right.
And, I'm always thankful to be invited on podcasts. Being the podcast host
Right.
who brings guests on and interviews other people, it always feels good when people want to interview me. So
Right.
it's an honor.
Right. It's a nice little change of pace, I'm sure, definitely. So,
Absolutely.
So Armon, I like to start these things off with how we met and how we connected. I was recording music in Level's studio in Harlem, and that would it be considered Harlem, the border of Harlem and Washington Heights per se? We met through a friend of ours, a good friend of ours who just celebrated a birthday. His name is Nick Early. He's also a singer, vocalist extraordinaire. And Armon came to the studio to vibe out one day. Nick asked me if you can come to the studio, and I was like, yeah, as long, I have studio rules, you know what I mean? Like, I normally don't let people in there unless they're providing something of value. And he was like, no, he's a real cool dude, right? I said, yeah, bring him on in. And he was there for a lot of the process of my You're All Welcome album. And then wrote a review, which actually brought a tear to my eye when I read it at first. So from then on, we've been forever linked. I followed your work as a writer on Twitter, and also we'll get into your podcast, your Stay Busy podcast as well. So just really happy that we got to connect. You're a good friend of mine. He also came to Ghana. I showed him a little bit of a good time for the short time he was there.
Yes, sir.
Linked up with his parents the next time they were there, which we had a grand old time. I was really happy to meet them and hang out and link up with them. So, yeah, man, just happy to have you on.
Yeah, bro, it's insane. We've known each other like 7 years now.
Right.
Like, the time has flown. It's really flown.
It goes by really fast. Like I remember, I remember when you were in the studio. You brought Sule to the studio one time. That was an experience because that dude is an exceptional MC, and I was just like, yo, we were really at that point. That was probably the most in tune as an artist I've been, and just having all the artistry around me was really beneficial as well. Also, just being able to bounce ideas off you and whoever was in the studio, whether it be Stats, whether it be Nick, whether it be Prime, whoever was there, was just really beneficial. But yeah, man, want to get into your journey. You're a writer extraordinaire. You've been in a bunch of publications. Where did your love of music start? Like, how did that come about? I'm sure it started when you were a young boy, but you can get into that for us.
Yeah, man, childhood, bro. Like, I vividly remember watching 106 in Park with my dad and my brother, or riding in my pops' whip and him playing mixtapes he would pick up at the barbershop, and my mom playing gospel music in the car too, and obviously, like, being a kid in the early 2000s, watching Nickelodeon and Disney Channel, and like how music focused those channels were, because like they really aren't as music focused as they were back in the day. So being introduced to I'm trying to think of the groups I was introduced to. Like, obviously there's like the Britney Spearses and just a bunch of different like boy bands,
NSYNC,
the NSYNC, Backstreet Boys. Yeah,
yeah,
man. Like I like really what a special era. And so I grew to have my own music taste real early on, and like, bro, 2003, like 50 Cent's Breakthrough, I vividly remember that.
Right.
And Hove and Nas, like even being young and not fully understanding what Hove and Nas were talking about, but just hearing them on the radio, Mobb Deep. Then my dad's from the West Coast, so Tupac, Ice Cube, Snoop Dogg. Like, my dad used to have a crazy music collection, all these different CDs and albums and stuff, and so it just created a really early curiosity for me about music. I never planned to have a career in music, specifically journalism, but my interest and my love for it was there early on. Having a CD player, listening to Bow Wow albums, and listening to really anything that I could get my hands on. Like, music was just
It's, I mean, it sounds laughable now, but not really. But Bow Wow's a legend, bro.
Absolutely.
He is an icon of that era musically. Him, beat the B2Ks, all that entire era, Ray J, all that entire era of music, which is probably like, I want to say maybe a little older than your age group per se. It kind of like they built the foundation for what you guys are listening to now.
Absolutely, man. Like I actually interviewed Jermaine Dupri a couple years ago, and I was talking to him. I was like, bro, like it honestly felt like Bow Wow was like the biggest star in the world in that like 2003 to 2005 phase. Like he was everywhere, movies, TV shows. Right. Obviously, the music was huge itself. Right. Like he just like, and I feel, and we don't really see child stars like that anymore either. Like I can't think of the last legit child star. It's been a while, and so for him to pop off the way he did and continue it into his teenage and young adult days, like it was a very special time.
That's an interesting point you bring up. That there really aren't a lot of child stars. Like it was because then it was Bow Wow, was Little Romeo, B2K was young. I forgot they had a young. I can't think of the group's name, but it was
B5.
What's that? B5 there's another one though. They were like kids. They were in a classroom writing and dancing. I can't think. It was like organized something. I couldn't think of what the name was. But they had all these child. Even go back to my era. Like there was Another Bad Creation and Criss Cross, and a lot of these guys were out. But nowadays you don't really see the child star anymore. And it's I don't know that I'd even be into it, but it does kind of reflect the times as far as like where the kids are in their musical journey as well, as far as what they listen to, how grown they think now. There's no innocence in the music anymore. They kind of just get to it. You know what I mean? So it's kind of interesting that you bring that up. So let me ask you this: did you major in journalism at Cornell?
I was a communication major, focused in media studies. I initially wanted to be a sports broadcaster. I obviously loved ESPN, playing sports myself. As much as I wanted to be a professional.
I did see that clip floating around Twitter. You playing corner, getting a pick six. I did see that. That did float around.
Yeah, man. No, I played football. I played basketball for a little bit. Ran track. Played baseball. I thought if there was any sport that I could go pro for, maybe it was baseball. But I think people thought I was better at football,
right?
And so I got a couple D2, D3 offers, but when a school like Cornell comes knocking, like you can't turn that down.
Right.
And I even pondered walking onto the football team, but I knew that I wanted to be very involved on campus, community service organizations, pursuing Greek life, all that. And so I was like, all right, how can I keep sports in my life as a career, but not playing? And it was sports broadcasting. I love public speaking growing up. I consider myself pretty good at it. Other people consider me pretty good at it. I love analysis, commentary, all that. And so, I wanted to be a sports broadcaster. And so majoring in communications, media studies made the most sense at the time.
Right. I didn't know you played baseball either, because I'm also a former baseball player as well. And it's very rare that you see people that look like us in that era who played baseball. I played 3 years varsity baseball. What position did you play?
I was much skinnier back then, so I played the outfield.
Okay.
I was pretty good in the outfield. I was great running the bases. I only got caught stealing once in high school. That's something that I take a lot of pride in. Only got caught stealing once. Like when I got on base, coach told me that I had the green light. So it was like you don't need to look for no signals. You get on base, you go whenever you want to go. So played outfield, pitched a little bit. Well, wasn't that good at pitching, but yeah,
I think pitching is something everybody tries. Because every coach wants as many pitches as they could possibly get. It's tough though, bro. It's tough.
It is.
I've gotten rocked before. I got rocked on JV. I got rocked. You know what I mean? Guys spraying the ball all over the field on me. So it's a tough, and also a lot of walks. It's tough to throw strikes when you're up there, man. It really is.
It's a lot of pressure.
Right. So, I want to ask you, being like, we grew up in two very different eras. I'm from the Source XXL era of hip hop journalism. You are probably from the Complex era, and Rap Radar, and there was another, there's a couple other publications that were out that came out that were newer. So what do you see? How do you see the change in journalism, particularly as it pertains to music journalism, over the course of your life and into what you're in right now?
It's changed so much, man. I mean, I think the album review is like dead.
Right.
Like, there's not many publications that do that anymore, and it's a shame because I love it. Like, I love doing it, and I love reading them, and I think people just don't really care anymore. Like, now we're in the era of doing like newsletter roundups where you get a bunch of different small blurbs about songs, and people more so focus on interviews, and that's really it. Like, music journalism, it's like, I don't want to say it's dead because I am part of it, and I do think I'm one of the people who is keeping it to a certain level of prestige, but it's definitely not the same. And I think a big part too is like, we don't have music-based talk shows anymore. Like, I talked about 106 in Park before. Like, that was a legitimate staple. Like, you go on 106 in Park, you were something.
Right.
And it emphasized music videos. We had TRL.
Right.
We had VH1. We had shows dedicated to showing you music videos for an hour. So it's changed a lot, and I understand things are going to change. Priorities change. Networks change. Some networks fall off. But you know, now and with that void, now we have streamers who are taking over and doing their own music commentary. We've got blogs still to a degree, but not really. Now we've got these music pages on Twitter. We've got TikTok reviewers. So, like, it still exists. It's just very different. And if there aren't necessarily professionally trained people doing the commentary anymore, which kind of blurs the line and opens the door for more people to give their music perspectives. And so I think just music conversations have somewhat gotten worse now. Now people can make money on Twitter for tweeting out nonsense about music. And, you know, sometimes I feel like we don't even get genuine, authentic music conversations anymore. So it's very different. It's very, very different.
So it's funny that you say that because two lines I thought about, that I want to go over is that you mentioned that everybody has a platform now, and I think that happens in sports as well. Everybody's got an opinion, and everybody's an expert, so nobody really pays attention. Nobody really gives any credence or any weight to the people who have real credentials and have been really trained in this field. You also mentioned album reviews, and it's funny that you mentioned that because I remember you doing an album review for Wale that was on the cereal box for years ago, and I believe he said he was on. I forgot what the tweet he made was, but I think he said he was only going to be reading reviews that were going to be some type of something out of the ordinary, right? So I guess where I want to go with this is, do you think the lack of album reviews is it more due to the artist being more sensitive these days, or is it strictly because of the amount and influx of people that are reviewing albums daily? Like, somebody puts an album out at midnight, and by 10 a.m. it's deemed a classic or a dud. You know, what are your thoughts on that?
It's a little bit of both. I think artists have always been sensitive.
Right. I mean, we as a fellow artist myself, listen, I'm sensitive to a degree, but I also understand that everything's not for everybody. You know, so I don't think it's like that these days. I think a lot of artists take heed and take heart to what a lot of people say about their music, and they really can't compartmentalize it and just keep it away from what they're doing. I think there's a little more sensitivity these days, definitely.
Yeah, and I think social media is a big part of it. Like, back in the day, like, we're seeing Benzino and Slim Shady are still beefing now because Benzino didn't want to give him 5 mics, but now it's like there's social media. So this review gets put on Twitter by a big platform like a Pitchfork or a Billboard. It's getting retweeted. It's getting quoted. People are in the quotes bombing on an artist. Like, so now it's more visible. You're seeing it in real time as opposed to waiting a month or two for a magazine to come out. Right. And so I think that really plays into rappers and singers' psyches and their sensitivities. And also, it's just like these publications, just a lot of them having worked at multiple, they prioritize like what is getting the most traction, and you covering this crazy story about Diddy or Kanye West is going to get more internet traffic and, you know, attack the algorithms better than an album review. Unless you go really like salacious with it and get super negative to the point where it goes viral, like they just kind of have different focuses and different priorities. But I do think artist sensitivity plays a big part in it. I mean, fortunately, I've never worked anywhere where it's been like, all right, like don't be too critical. We don't want to upset this guy. We want to bring him in for an interview. Like, you know, a lot of publications who still prioritize album reviews, like, ensure that they are giving the most honest takes, but there's just not enough of them anymore.
Right. Okay. Understood. Okay. I want to get into the Stay Busy podcast, which was recently picked up by Revolt. So congratulations on that. If I haven't said that to you in the last few months.
Thank you, man.
So I know that you guys started out a couple years ago, and I saw the grind. You guys weekly podcast, very consistent with the content, with the long form and the short form online. What is the premise of the Stay Busy podcast? How did it come about, and where are you looking to take it going forward?
Absolutely. So 2019, me and our good friend Nick Early, like, you know, we're just talking about our careers, talking about what we want out of music. And my thing at that time was I just wanted more opportunities, and I wasn't getting them. And Nick was always big on creating your own opportunities. So he really pushed me to not only be someone offering my words and writing, but to offer my voice to the space. You know, go somewhere where no one can tell me my idea isn't good, or no one can try to change the perspective that I have. And the best way to do that was podcasting. Like, you remember 2018, podcasting had a crazy boom. Joe Budden goes to Spotify.
Right.
Joe Rogan goes to Spotify.
Right.
We're seeing all these athlete and even rappers were starting to do their own podcasts, celebrity-led podcasts. And so it seemed like the right time to put my name into that conversation. And so we Stay Busy. Nick was originally just going to be my producer, and then I'm like, man, get on the mic with me. I don't want to talk by myself for an hour. And so Nick jumps on, and, you know, the best part about it was we were just having the types of conversations that we would already have through text and on our phone calls and when we would link up in person. So it was just a very easy, natural type of thing. But we're starting a pod in December 2019, 3 months later, the pandemic comes.
Right.
So it's like, all right, how do we keep this going in this very untimely period that we weren't prepared for? And so, you know, that's when Zoom starts to go crazy and all these other things. And it opened up the opportunity for us to bring in guests that weren't just in New York and New Jersey. Right. So we continued doing virtual throughout that season and through our next season, and then we're like, now we got to get back in person. We got to put these visuals out. People like to watch their podcasts,
right,
on YouTube or wherever else they're available. So yeah, man, we eventually transitioned to the studio. We bring some more people in on the team, and almost 7 years later, here we are, still going. The team has changed a bunch,
I'm sure.
But I'm thankful for the people that I have. It's definitely been a roller coaster. I've learned a lot. I've made mistakes. I've tried things that didn't work. I've tried things that have worked. And I think the best part about it was it's gone hand in hand with my journalism career. So as I've leveled up in the journalism field, the podcast has been able to level up. My access has grown. My network has grown. The people that I can bring in has expanded a lot. So it's been really fun, especially like the added aspect of developing a relationship with the WWE to where I can interview their talent on the show too. It's been amazing. Like I'm very thankful for it. I've put a lot of money into it, even money that I didn't have at the time I was putting into it. And so now that, you know, we have the opportunity to get some paid ads and have a network who's backing us, like it's a big blessing, man.
Well, congratulations to you again, man. That's a huge deal. Really proud of you in that respect. I'm proud of everything you do, but that's a big move, man. Like getting picked up by a network, and I know just because, like everything else that kind of, you know, catches lighter fluid, there are 2 billion podcasts out there. So for somebody, Revolt, to really recognize you and pick you guys up and back you, I think it's a nice little badge of honor that you should have carrying with you. And hopefully, I mean, I don't see anything stopping you guys from moving forward and being a bigger brand than you are already. You mentioned wrestling. And I'm not a huge wrestling guy. I never really have, not since the days of. I mean, I was Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior, Undertaker. Those days when I was big into the video games, WWF Superstar that was on Genesis back in the day. But I kind of fell out of love with it. But what I didn't expect was the advent of just how wrestling has evolved and how big it's gotten over like the last 25 years. Since the Bret Harts, the Stone Cold Steve Austins, I call you Razor Armon because that's part of your wrestling background. How has wrestling helped your journalism career as well?
Man, it's put me in conversations and in contact with people, and just the traction that the interviews have gotten, like on YouTube and all that. Like it's really changed my life. Like I've been a lifelong fan. Started watching as a kid, like 2002. So that's,
who was your favorite wrestler coming up as a youngin?
Brock Lesnar, The Undertaker, Kurt Angle, Randy Orton, John Cena.
Right.
Like, and now, there's so many new guys now who are doing their thing.
Right.
But yeah, man, it's really my favorite thing. Like, whenever I have any downtime at the crib, I'm either playing WWE 2K on my PS5 or I'm watching matches, either my favorite matches that I've seen millions of times or old stuff that I wasn't around for. It's just so I can, like, when people talk about certain classic matches that I wasn't a fan for at the time or haven't seen, like, I gotta see them for myself.
Right.
Yeah, man. So just having a relationship with the WWE, like, anytime they're in New York, I'm at the shows. Right. I get to watch.
You're
the
in the
shows
suites, but don't say you're at the shows. You're in
yeah, man.
You're in the suite. I saw, bro. I see you.
Hey, sweet life, man. It's good. It's good. I get to get lit with my people,
of course.
And I think the way that they embrace black content creators and black journalists is especially very special. Now that Monday Night Raw is on Netflix, they've like made a very concerted, intentional effort to highlight black creators, bring us to the shows. That they have these little pre-show receptions where different celebrities are. So I got to chop it up with Joe Budden for a little bit.
Right.
Brandon Marshall be there, Mero be there, you name it. Like New York media, New York celebrities, New York rappers, like they all be there. And it's nuts now because 2023 when I started interviewing wrestlers, like that was when WWE really was about to boom.
Right.
And now it's to the point where like Jade Cargill is going on the Rory and Maul podcast.
Right,
Joe Budden is talking about wrestling on his podcast. Jeff Teague and them on Club 520 are interviewing wrestlers. Like now I have to fight for these interviews with these super big names. So
fall into your lap. So let me ask you this: who's your favorite interview that you've had, either from wrestling or both wrestling and in the music space?
Man, that's a tough one because I've had some that I didn't expect to be as good as they were.
Which is a great thing. That's always a great thing.
Yeah, man, bro. Yeah, because like you as a creator, as I'm sure we all want those big names.
Right.
Like, we all want to be able to get into that arena and show what we can do as a conversationalist and as an interviewer, but it's certain people who, like I said, that they just blow you away by the type of vulnerability they offer. So musically, favorite music interview, man. I mean, I still hold that.
You got some guys on record. You mentioned JD earlier, Jermaine Dupri earlier.
Yeah, man.
Right.
Yeah. Like it. I still hold that Pusha T one in really, really high regard. We talked for 90 minutes.
Right.
In the pandemic, he was just about to have his son.
Right.
And Push is like a really great speaker. Like the way he communicates
great
his
orator.
Thoughts.
To me, I feel like in order to be an excellent rapper, you have to have excellent vocabulary and excellent diction. I think those are the two things that people don't really realize. And whenever you hear Push in the interview, he is engaging, and you just him and his brother, honestly, you just really want to listen to everything they have to say.
Yeah. So that was like my first really big one, and so I think I'm gonna always hold that in high regard. But like being able to interview Lotto and Metro Boomin and JD, like I said, and Common, even being Common had a really good conversation.
Almon's a cool dude. I met
loved.
him years ago too. He's a cool dude, bro. Very, very down
Very,
earth.
very cool
Yeah.
dude. Wrestling wise, though, man, talking to Trish Stratus was cool. Just because she was, if you were a wrestling fan in the 2000s, she was your childhood crush.
Right.
So, being able to talk to her years later and just how open she was really cool. But then there's like Trick Williams, who's a new guy, who I've met in person before. So he and I have like a
Rapport.
somewhat of a rapport relationship, and so he really opened up with me. But honestly, all of them, like I'm really happy to be here, and that's something that I struggle with, is balancing being happy to be here, but then that old school sports phrase of when you score a touchdown, act like you've been here before. Like it's so tough, because as creators, as people who accomplish things, and as ambitious people who strive to thrive, like you want to celebrate your wins,
right,
but you don't want to come off as if you're some bright-eyed rookie who's never been there before, right, or you don't want to come off like you're bragging. So
right,
it's something that I've even to this day, 30 years old now, I've been doing journalism for over 10 years. I still struggle to act like I've been there,
right,
but also be happy to be
right
here. But every time I get to talk to a wrestler and put it out for the world, and a publication or a wrestling Twitter page picks up a quote, like I'm like, damn, man, like I'm really doing the thing that I always wanted to do,
right,
and to a level where people are really recognizing it,
and also they really they look forward to it as well. I think what you mentioned earlier about trying to find a balance. I think when I first started doing journey pieces, like them poetry pieces for ESPN way back in the day, I would walk around ESPN campus, and all of a sudden I was this known guy, and people were like, "Oh my God, it was so dope!" Da 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 da. And one thing I always used to tell my producer, Terrell Boozer, shout out to my man Terrell Boozer at ESPN now. I said, "Hey, you still got work to do. You know what I mean? You just got to keep the main thing." And I think a lot of times you have to enjoy your wins, right? I think it's very important to really like sit back, recognize what you've done, and really relish in what you've done, because not everybody's able to do it, right? But also realize that the goalpost is now moved. You know what I mean? There's another goalpost you can get to. Like once you see the light, it's like, oh wait, there's more here. I can get there. So I just feel like obviously keep yourself humble. One, I think on all things, because it could be stripped away from you in a moment, right? But also, it can be. It's just a fact of life. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Also recognize your wins, and also realize that there's always another gear, and there's always another goal to get to. So I think you're on the right track, man. Your trajectory is going this, and it's not doing this. So that's always a good thing. So what I want to get into, I want to get into this. The 2025 music scene was an outstanding one, if we're keeping it tall. Like a lot of big dogs dropped, a lot of singles dropped. R&B and rap. What would you say is the most significant thing that for you that happened in 2025 musically? Because there was a lot.
Rise of R&B.
I mean, in both rap, because obviously we have Kendrick that dropped. We have Leon Thomas that dropped. He might have had Song of the Year. The Chris Brown tour. Did you go to Chris Brown tour?
I did not, man. I'm tight. I didn't go.
Say, brother.
It looked amazing.
Say, brother. Listen, I've been to I'm a 44-year-old man. I've been to a lot of shows in my life. Okay, I've seen Michael Jackson in concert. As a shorty, yes, but I saw Michael Jackson in concert. As an adult, that might be the best show I've ever seen in my life, ever.
Wow.
Ever.
Wow.
Breezy. I mean, I was just astonished at the amount of singing and dancing he was doing for 2 hours straight, nonstop. And then also you get into like the amount of joints and singles that he has, and obviously he went crazy last year with a couple of singles, and one of the singles that went up on TikTok last year that everybody was dancing to, and also just the old stuff that was on the radio. So not to go off tangent here, but what do you think was the most significant thing that happened for you musically, R&B or rap, or however whatever genre you want to spin?
Yeah, I mean, bro, it's been really dope to see R&B rise to the level that it has, when you see Leon Thomas being a legitimate star, when you see Kehlani Folded going crazy,
right.
even Mariah the Scientist with her Burning Blue and Givion's album, which was fantastic. That was one of my favorite albums.
One of my favorite. I'm not. I can't say I'm a huge Giveon fan, but that album, I was in Ghana with your parents playing that joint. I could not stop playing it. Strangers is my favorite song, personally. I don't know about you, but
what's my favorite joint? It might be Backup Plan.
Backup Plan. Avalanche is crazy too.
Avalanche is nuts, like, bro. The whole thing, like, I honestly listen to that almost every day.
Right.
So yeah, it's been dope to see R&B, because we've always loved R&B. R&B is always, part of the conversation, but to see it reach the level it is on the charts, like, it's been a long time since we've seen R&B really making moves on the charts. So that's been a great thing for me. In terms of rap, like, there were definitely a lot of great projects that dropped last year. If you go to the Clips album, Let God Sort 'Em Out, you talk about Central C's album, I really liked. Wale's album, Everything Is a Lot, I really liked.
A really good album. That's an album full of singles, a lot of potential singles with the album, and also just the sequencing of it was really good as well. I think that might be his best project. It might be. It's up there with him for me,
bro. It's like, and you don't want to jump the gun. Like, there's the whole recency bias thing,
right?
But when you really go through his catalog, like, it's Ambition,
right?
I still really love his 2019 album. Wow, that's crazy,
bro.
But
that album doesn't get talked about enough to me. That's a phenomenal project from Wale. His catalog, man. Catalog is up there, man. A lot of people have a lot of things to say about Wale, and I know listen, I met Wale recently. It didn't go the best way that I thought it was gonna go. So I understand people.
Damn.
All right, look, bro. They say you never want to meet your hero, so I understand where that comes from. But in terms of just the catalog of music that he's put out over the course of his career, it's an exceptional one, and I think it needs to be talked about more. Like, if we I won't say that, but he can go head to head versus with a lot of guys in his era and probably come out on top.
Absolutely.
The Wale album was great. Who else dropped? Gibbs' album. Freddie Gibbs' album was really good. I'm not sure how you feel about Gibbs.
Gibbs is a good rapper. I prefer his older stuff. What was the joint in 2020? Alfredo. That was really good.
Alfredo was really good.
Pinata's
really
good.
Yes.
I think Bandana
is
that one too.
Bandana.
Yeah. He was on a string of really, really good projects. There was some joint he dropped in like 2022 that I didn't feel that much. Something Sold Separately.
Oh, you didn't like. You didn't like that album?
Yeah, I wasn't really big on that, and so
that actually might be my favorite Gibbs project.
Wow.
Yeah. There's some joints on there. I forgot Something Sold Separately.
Yeah.
Is it Hustle? Hold on, I'm about to pull it right now because it's gonna kill me. If I don't get it, it's gonna kill me. Hold on. It's probably Soul Sold Separately.
Soul Sold Separately. There we go.
Yes.
Yeah, so I wasn't too big on that one, but Gibbs is a legitimate, like, spitter in every way, MC in every way, like the flows, the cadences, the all that. Like, he's definitely a very, very talented dude. So yeah. I got nothing.
Did you like Chance the Rapper's album?
What's crazy, bro? This might sound real crazy. I still haven't listened to it yet. I've heard really good things about it. I haven't tapped in. I want to, so that's on my like to-do list of music to play.
Coming from a guy who's not a huge Chance fan, I was thoroughly impressed. Thoroughly impressed with that project for him. It's a really good project. Really good.
Yeah, no, I've heard good things about it from people I trust, so I'm like, all right, I need to get around to that. Bro, I was just in such a trance with R&B last year.
Right.
Like the Giveon joint we talked about, Mariah the Scientist, Leon Thomas, Nippa, the Drake Party Next Door project.
Oh, which I don't know why. Listen, I know people have their thing about Drake, but that's a really good project. That's a really good project, low key.
Yes, absolutely. Dropped on Valentine's Day, Valentine's Day. Like, special shit, man.
Yeah, so I guess we could segue into this. I didn't plan on talking about Drake on this podcast, but I think once you mention his name, I think it's necessary for all content creators to at least discuss. Because you and I had long discussions about his catalog and his influence on the game the last 15 years. Where do you see Drake now after the battle? What do you think he should be doing going forward? Because I mean, listen, the L was a hit, even though I don't think he lost the battle in a rap sense. I think he lost it in a strategy sense, and it kind of just took off. But I'm not exactly sure as to why he's taking so much time off, which is not a normal thing for Drake. He's normally he keeps hitting you with music consistently, and all of a sudden, after we got the Party Next Door collab, but we haven't had a solo project from Drake now. Are we coming up on 2 years, 3 years now? 2 years?
Yeah, he did the For All the Dogs Deluxe was November 2023. So yeah, it's been almost 3 years.
Almost 3 years. Yeah, right. So what are your thoughts on what he should be doing? Obviously, the public perception is he lost the battle, right? I think that goes without saying at this point. But what do you think his next move should be? I know the Iceman project is supposed to be coming. We've been waiting on that for about, at this point, 8-9 months. So where do you think he should be going? What's his next move?
Bro, he needs to focus on making really good music. Like, of course, damn near every album he drops is gonna go number one, and it's gonna stream well. But the narrative surrounding his music, in terms of the public, the casuals, the everyone outside of the Drake fans like myself, like, people haven't really felt his albums in a while, and like his hits have come less frequently,
right?
And so, and I think part of it was because he wasn't really challenged, like from Scorpion onward, top guy. Like there was no one who could really compete with him, and so I think he was kind of just bored and just taking victory laps. And then 2024, it knocked him over the head. It definitely humbled him, and like you said, and I know this is a conversation that a lot of people don't like having. Like, Kendrick definitely won the battle in the public eye. He won over the internet, but like, Drake still rapped really well. In that battle.
It's arguable. It's arguable he out-rapped Kendrick. But like I said, from a strategy standpoint, for me, it's like, you had to know you couldn't approach this the same way you approached the Meek Mill battle, because you already gave the template as to what you were going to do. You know what I mean? You had to, like, in the art of war, you got to figure out what your opponent is going to do. And you knew that. Yeah. You knew Kendrick had joints ready. So you were supposed to have joints ready. You were not going. There was not going to be one kill shot from Drake in this battle, and you knew that. And I think he took it for granted, and the public ran with it. And also, listen, just to be completely frank, when you get to the level of Drake, the public is always going to look for a way at a certain point to denigrate you at some point. You know what I mean? Once they get tired of you, once they think you've gotten stale, whatever the verbiage is you want to use, they're going to find a way to put an L in your column, right? To put you in to put a 1 in your L column. So I'm hopeful that he returns to the Drake of just making jams. Just make the jams, bro. You know what I mean? You had there's a couple joints on that Party collaboration that you could have ran with, and I thought he was going to have a little momentum from that. Didn't seem to be the case at all. Still waiting on Iceman. You mentioned to me in the group chat that you think Iceman is going to be a double disc. Where was the connection with that, and what is the feeling on that? How did you come with that assessment?
Just some conversations I've had with some people that I trust, and I think, what you think back to his last double disc, Scorpion, it came after he battled Push. Right. And he had a lot that he wanted to say, and he just wanted to take over that summer. And he really achieved that. You look at Nonstop, God's Plan, In My Feelings, Nice for What, Sicko Mode on Travis's project. Like, he achieved that. And so I think with this album and with the narrative about him and with him having to satisfy so many pockets of music fans, it makes sense. Like, he's a consistent 20-song project type guy. Right. just because he has to give so much to so many different people. And so, yeah, I think Iceman is a very pivotal album for him, and it feels crazy to say that because, like, he's already had a career that is Hall of Fame. Like, he could have honestly stopped after, like, Views and
been fine.
Like, had a better career than a lot of people who've done this rap thing.
Right.
But he kept going. He kept breaking more records, and, you know, I'm obviously thankful for it as a fan.
Right.
But I think just with the narrative against him right now, with the public perception the way it is, with everything, you go to the lawsuit and people just questioning his decisions and the people he's around.
Right.
Like, this is an album where he can really shift the narrative back to being in favor of him.
Right. And I think enough time has passed as well. There's enough time has passed where he can get back in there. Of course, definitely.
People have finally moved on. It took them a while, but people have finally moved on from all that. I think there's a craving for new Drake music. Like, every other day I'm seeing some interview from some rapper where they're like, yo, we don't really got the vibes right now. Drake always brought the vibes, and now he's away.
Listen, for what it's worth, man, like, we can say whatever we want about Drake, how you feel about him. He carried the genre for a very long time, man. He did,
absolutely.
Bro. Like, people can say what they want about the music getting stale or he's rapping about the same thing. Whenever you found out Drake was dropping, you hit that download button. You know what I mean? And those streams were going up. So you can't discredit. You have to give him some credit for that, and at the very bare minimum. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see how it goes in 2026. I'm a Drake fan. I hope he drops. And my ears will be open the moment he drops. So speaking of potential double discs, though, this J. Cole song just dropped. I'm not sure if it's titled yet, but I know the title on the post said Disc 2, Track 2. And to go along with some of the Drake narrative, there's also been a narrative pushed about J. Cole after he entered the battle and then he put his foot in the water and then immediately jumped out. I'll give you my feelings on it first, and then you can give me your thoughts on it. First and foremost, I was disappointed that he backed out of the battle. But looking back at the way Kendrick and Drake were battling, I think it's fair to say that this was never Cole's battle to enter in the first place. Never was.
Absolutely.
Based on, I mean, bro, there were pedophile allegations and infidelity allegations and this, that, and the third. I think this is not a place where J. Cole was trying to go. And people are upset with Cole saying that, oh, you know, he shouldn't have did that, and he can never say that he's the best ever again, so on and so forth. I'm not in that group. I don't believe that. I think as a man, sometimes you let people gas you up, and then, you know, you realize, whether it be a day later or a week later, 2 weeks later, you know what? I probably shouldn't have done that. So that's my thoughts on it. The record he dropped, and I'm not sure when I'm dropping this podcast, but the record he dropped recently that we just discussed is a phenomenal record. And anybody trying to convince themselves that J. Cole is not one of the very greatest MCs of our time is lying to themselves. So I would like to know how you feel about how everything transpired with him regarding the battle and where we are now and what you expect from Cole with this double disc.
Yeah, I'm with you. It was tough to see, man. I think, you know, I understand beef is one of the pillars of hip hop to a degree, but you know, I'm not someone who like looks for rap beef. But when it's presented, I'm like, all right, I'm with it. Let's see how people engage. Let's see who's capable. And Cole had never beefed with anyone, so it's like, okay, like just so he can say he did it, I want to see him engage and see how he handles himself. Right. So it was disappointing to see 7-minute drill, which was okay. You know, he definitely had some lines that like it
didn't even seem like he wanted to do it, even on the record.
For sure. Sure. Absolutely. It felt very much like, all right, what can I say to get the people going? But I don't really want to go too hard. But for that day, he had people saying, hey, man, To Pimp a Butterfly might be overrated. So, like, he did accomplish something with that, but then 2 days later, taking it back. It was very disappointing to see. Over time, especially after he dropped that track Port Antonio and kind of explained his perspective, I was like, all right, as a human, I understand. I've forgiven him. I love that audio series he did. I love that all his mixtapes were put on streaming. All his features over the years since the battle have been really good, and that project Might Delete Later was real good too.
Bro,
People
it's
just
one of my favorite Cole
didn't
projects.
give it a chance.
Right, it's one of my favorite Cole projects. Definitely.
Yeah, he kind of stomped all over it and made it to where people didn't want to engage because he took that track off of it. And so I think all of that and just the kind of public perception of him kind of threw him off and pushed his plans for the fall off back and probably made him get back in the studio and change a bunch of things and brought some inspiration, but brought that hunger back. Because I think Cole hasn't necessarily been challenged either. You know, you remember that 2018 period where like he went on 2018, 2019, he went on that crazy feature run. Right. He finally started working with other producers. It sounded like he'd gotten bored, and so he wanted to try new things. And I think now his back is kind of against the wall, and it's a matter of, all right, do you bend or do you break? And I think based on that track we heard, Disc 2, Track 2, the man is in shape.
He's in lyrical shape. Yes, he is.
Yeah, yes. The pen is sharp, the sword is sharp, and I think we're going to hear some really incredible raps. I was talking to my boy yesterday. He was like, do you really think Cole is going to walk away after this album? I think he will. I think he's accomplished everything that he needs to.
And what else does he have to prove? Honestly, like let's keep things tall here. Like he's had the singles, he's had the influence, he's sold out the shows. I mean, he's not a stadium artist, but arenas are going to sell out when J. Cole's name is on the marquee. So what else does he have to prove?
He doesn't have to prove anything to me. I mean, we've really been spoiled by the longevity of the big three. You know, obviously there are rappers like Hove who had longevity. Nas is still going. Lil Wayne is still around. His career's been up and down. But like to be this hot, to stay at the top for as long as those three have, like we've really been spoiled by that. And like people struggle to really put into perspective, like people don't thrive for that long.
Right.
Like and even in years where Cole, Kendrick don't drop, Drake obviously drops a lot more often, like there's still the measuring stick, there's still the bar. It's like, all right, whoever's dropping and is trying to, you know, nudge their way into the top guy conversation, you still need to climb over these guys.
Right.
And so, yeah, Cole has absolutely nothing to prove to me. He's one of my favorite rappers ever. I think the fact that he's legitimately gotten better over the course of his career doesn't get talked about enough either. Like you listen to the off season, then you go back and listen to a Sideline Story. And while Sideline Story was good at that time, it's night and day. Cole has really gotten more refined, more polished, and just his approach to music has elevated. And so I'm glad. It feels like this year we're gonna get a lot of big releases from a lot of the big dogs, a lot of big names. And so I'm super excited for that. And it's 10 years since 2016, which, as we know, was an incredible music year.
Right.
So
it's funny. I play Madden, and the Drake record, Summer 16, comes on. It's all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's one of the songs. I just think back to that time and how scorching hot music was, and particularly in that summer, bro. It was it was everything. Wale was out. Big Sean was cranking. You know, is just a bevy of artists. That Future obviously was in his bag around that time as well. Migos was going crazy.
Oh my God!
Right. It was a good time. It's been 10 years. I personally can't wait for the Cole album. I can't wait to see what it sounds like. And if this is the last hurrah for him, then so be it. He's probably my favorite rapper out of the three. But what I do know is I'm also the most proud of him to see where he started as an artist and what he's come to. So those are my thoughts on Cole. So I'm going to wrap the podcast up with a segment I'm trying to figure out the name for. But for right now, we're going to call it Rapid Fire Dope. I'm going to ask you some comparative questions. You let me know which one you think is doper or however you want to slice it. And then we'll end the show on a good note. So my first instance of Rapid Fire Dope Raw or SmackDown?
SmackDown, man.
Whoa.
SmackDown. I grew up on SmackDown. When I didn't have cable, I could still watch SmackDown.
Right.
That's my introduction. Thursday nights, Friday nights. It was on Tuesday nights at one point.
Right.
It's just too close to my heart to not pick SmackDown.
Okay. Next one is Dark Lane demo tapes or Honestly Nevermind.
Wow.
So before we go any further, a lot of people criticize Honestly Nevermind, but you and I are from Jersey. And I know you grew up with some white folks. I did too. So I understood the musical aspect of it and the sonic aspect of it. A lot of people were not with it. It's one of my favorite albums from Drake, low key.
Absolutely. It's aged beautifully.
Beautifully.
But when I go to Dark Lane demo tapes, pandemic classic, bro.
Pandemic classic.
We was in the crib. I'm outside in the AMG, right outside. TT.
Yo, baby girl, you know me. Oh man.
That 3-song run to open, Deep Pockets, When to Say When, Chicago Freestyle.
Yes.
You got joints like D4L later on,
D4L
Losses, Not You Too. This is a very tough question.
What you rolling with, bro?
Because I got great memories with Honestly Nevermind too. Me and my ex drove down to Jersey Shores. Played that whole thing.
Listen, one thing about
windows
music,
down.
when you're with your joint and you're vibing to an album with your joint, but
I think, and I'm not fully committed to this, but I think I'm gonna go Honestly Nevermind.
Woo!
Yeah.
There's gonna be some controversy when we put this out as a clip, so just let you know right now.
Hey man, it's not new to me.
I mean, this is your space, so I'm sure you're. Yeah. Next one is Glorilla or Lotto.
I'm gonna go Lotto.
Okay. We have a Nick Early edition of this.
Okay.
Circles or Lord Knows. Woo! Hey, say brother. Say brother.
Sheesh. I'm gonna go Circles just because I was in the studio for the making of Circles. I vividly remember being there when Nick hit that. My mind is like a waterfall.
It's overflowing.
That and Circles came at a time where I was going through it with my ex, and I needed a song like that. I really felt that.
Right.
So I gotta go Circles. But I'm not mad at anyone who picks Lord Knows. That was the introduction to the incredible album that we got. And it's the one where when Nick performs it, people go up.
Right. So I'll tell you a quick story about how I met Nick, and I'm sure I'll have Nick on this podcast at some point in the near future. But I met Nick at a mixer. A media mixer that was at Slate. And, we exchanged info, Instagram or whatever the case may be. And I'm talking months down the line, I forgot. I never contacted him or anything like that. But months down the line, I saw the drop for Lord Knows. And I was like, wait, who is this kid that's on my timeline? And I went to his page. I was like, I follow him? Then I was like, oh shit, this is the kid that I met from the mixer. Then I'm hearing Lord Knows. And this is me at the very beginning of me recording You're All Welcome, the very start of me starting to record that album. And I was like, oh nah, am I bugging or is this a joint? You know what I mean? Lord Knows was a joint. And I immediately hit him in DM like, yo, Nick, what's going on? We met at the mixer, so on and so forth. I'm not sure if you're interested, but I'm working on an album. I don't know if you want to come through, vibe out a little bit. I'm in Harlem, He happened to be living in Harlem at the time. And since that day, he and I have been, that is my dog, bro. Yeah. Nick is a very, my wife always says he's very stoic. He's older. He has an old soul. You know what I mean? Yeah. I get advice from Nick. As a 44-year-old man, I get advice from a 31-year-old or 30-year-old, I should say, Nick Early. You know what I mean? He's very wise in a lot of things that he chooses to put out there. So big shout out to the boy, Nick Early. Let's see. What else do I have? I think my last one is, my last question is, what is the dopest song in your playlist right now? What are you playing the most? What's your jam?
Dopest song in my playlist right
So I'll
now.
tell you what mine is right now, just to give you some context.
Sure.
There's a song by K Camp and Ari Lennox called "Floating" that
Okay.
hit my. If you, it is a jam. You hear me? A short joint, but it's a jam. I've been playing that ad nauseum. But let me know what yours is.
Right now, it'd probably be "Sweetness" by this artist named El Mean. He's an R&B dude
Oh,
from the
from
UK.
UK. Oh, that
Yeah.
dude. Sweetness. Is it a new record? Because I have his album. I have his Anywhere I Can album. I haven't heard anything new from him recently though.
Yeah, Sweetness dropped 2024 around like April, and then he dropped a version with Leon Thomas in May, and they smoked that. Like that.
Oh no, I know
joint's
Sweetness.
crazy.
Sweetness is on that album.
Yeah,
Sweetness is on that album. Okay.
Sweetness is crazy.
Sweetness is crazy.
Yeah.
That whole project
I've
is
been-
actually kind of crazy. El Mean,
He's good.
he's a good artist, bro. I mean, the vocals are exceptional. He's got a lot of range. It's very inviting, bro. It makes you want to listen to more. I'm a big fan of El Mean. Definitely. Yo, so
I rock with him heavy. I actually met him this week.
oh yeah,
Yeah, we did a little interview, which should be out by the time this episode comes out.
Okay.
And it's that damn. I forgot about that one. Like that's probably one of my favorite interviews I've done. Like, dude is 24 years old, born in 2001, which is crazy to me. That just sounds crazy.
Crazy
to
to
me
you?
As
Crazy to
as a
you?
95 baby. So
Crazy
I know
to
for you,
you?
it's like 2001, nigga. What?
bro. I was finishing my first year of college in 2001, bro. I was outside, bro. Outside.
Yeah. So, but he's a really just mature, really good perspective on music. Like we talked about one aspect of his career where it's like he's very selective with who he works with, and if he's jumping on a song, his integrity as an artist is so important. Where it's like you got to be saying something.
Right.
If I'm gonna get on this song with you, it's not just money, cars, sex, blah blah blah. Like
Right.
you got to really be saying something. If I'm gonna put my vocals, my name on the line for this, and so I just really respect that because that's how I operate as a creator too. Like
Right. Same here.
I don't do everything. I'm not going on any podcast. I'm not, I'm not going to certain shows. There's just certain things that I just don't do because of how it reflects my brand. And so
Right.
I really respect people who operate in that same way because there's people out here who will do anything for visibility.
Anything. I'm not that guy. I mean, bro, I can't tell you the amount of people that have reached out wanting a verse from me. And when I go to their page, this doesn't even match. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I'm not even talking about from a skill set standpoint. I'm just talking about from like even what you're speaking about. Like, I just can't I can't attach my name to anything like that. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, man. Anyway, really good talk with you, bro. I appreciate you hopping on the
Absolutely.
podcast. I'm sure I'll have you on another time, sometime later down the line. We'll talk music, we'll talk sports. And yeah, man, really proud of you and everything you've done. Keep up the good work. You know what I'm saying? And just sign off and we'll check y'all out later, man. Y'all be safe.
Yes, sir.
Oh, wait, Armon, before we go, make sure you let everybody know where they can find you, your content, and all that stuff, all that good stuff. That's my fault. Sorry about that.
Absolutely, no problem, brother. Follow me at Armon Sadler, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, all that good stuff. Follow the podcast, Stay Busy with Armon Sadler, at Stay Busy Pod on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Threads. We on Facebook, we're on YouTube, we're everything. There's links in all our bios. You can subscribe to the YouTube, the Spotify, the Apple Music, everywhere that we're playing. And yeah, man, thank you for having me. Uncle Yao, I call you. Even though like you feel like Unc, but then you also big bro.
Right.
The support over the years, the inspiration over the years, it means a lot. Like it as someone who has become an OG to some people,
Right.
to still have my OGs means a lot to me and has helped me a bunch, especially in this period. Like you were one of the few people to call me when you saw me announce that I got laid off, just to check in. And just to let me know things are gonna be okay, and like I knew I was gonna be okay, but just to get that from someone who's been in the field longer than me, has been doing his thing, has gone through it, like, you know, stuff like that, it means a lot. So I really appreciate you, man.
Yeah, bro. Of course, man. And listen, man, we're all here to help each other out at the end of the day anyway. So, like I said, man, I appreciate you coming out, bro. Coming on the show, rather. And anything you ever need from me, let me know, man. Just hit me up on a phone call away. You know that, bro. And tell your parents I said what up, by the way, as well.
Of course, brother.
All right, man. Another episode of my friends are dope. We'll be back next week. Y'all be safe. I'll holler at y'all. Peace.